So I've decided to refilm it, taking the suggestions into account. And the main suggestion was that I use a thicker or bulkier yarn and a bigger hook. This should enable you to see what I am doing better, I guess. So that is what we are doing today. I've gone for this Utopia Craft super chunky microfiber polyester yarn. It is divinely soft, it's so nice. And I am using a UK 9mm hook. Now this is the thickest yarn and the thickest hook I have ever used. So hopefully this does the trick for what we need. So we're going to start from scratch right from the very beginning, and hopefully you can follow along quite easily. If you have any issues whatsoever, please feel free to get in touch with me. I think my email address is on the channel. I mean, you can DM me on Instagram, on TikTok. You can comment on YouTube. Anything you need, I'm happy to help. All right, so we are going to create a fabric that is 15 stitches across. So we're going to need to build some chains. So to start that, we're going to need a slip knot. Now, the easiest way for me to create a slip knot is to take the end of your yarn and fold it over your thumb. Okay, once you've got it over your thumb, grab both ends and twist the top loop. So using your fingers, pull a loop from the shortest end and tighten the knot. Okay, I think I may have even confused myself when I did that, so let's start again. Fold the yarn over your thumb and grab both ends with the other hand. Twist and then pull the shorter end through the middle. Okay, so once you've got your knot, you'll be able to put it on your hook and then pull the shorter end to tighten it up. Okay, so our project is going to be 15 stitches across. So in order to create 15 stitches, we're going to need 16 chains. You need 16 chains because one chain will be used as a turning chain. And I will explain that when we get a little bit closer to needing it. For the time being, we are going to take the working end of our yarn and pull it through the loop on the hook. Okay, so the working end of the yarn is the end that is attached to your skein. It is the end that we're going to be working from, hence working end. Okay, so you take your hook, you grab your working end, and you pull it through the loop that's on the hook. Grab the working end and pull it through the loop that's on the hook. Grab the working end, pull it through the loop that's on the hook. Now when I'm doing this, you'll notice that I twist the hook up to grab the yarn and twist it back down to pull it through the loop. Twist it up to grab the yarn, twist it down to pull it through the loop. This just helps you to move the hook through the loops a little bit easier. So let's continue until we have 16 chains. That's what your chains look like, by the way. Each one of those is a chain. So we don't count the one that is on the hook. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that is what your chains will look like. Okay. Now we're going to start off with single crochets. Okay. Oh, by the way, the terminology that I use is all American crochet terminology. I know it's a little bit confusing because I am from the UK, but I don't use UK crochet terminology. The US crochet terminology just makes a lot more sense to me. So we are going to start with single crochets, and we don't go into the first chain from the hook, we go into the second chain from the hook. This is why we need 16 chains instead of 15. So we don't go into that one, we go into the second one. So let's just tighten this up a little bit. Okie dokie. So we put our hook into the chain, grab the working yarn and pull it through. Then you've got 2 loops on your hook. You grab your working yarn again and pull it through both of those hoops. Okie dokie. So you go into the chain, grab the working yarn and pull it through. Grab the working yarn again and pull it through both of the loops. Okie dokie. Into your chain and grab the working yarn, pull it through. 2 loops on your hook. Grab the working yarn again and pull it through both loops. We're going to continue doing this until we've worked across all 15 of these chains. Last stitch of the row. Okay, and that is what your first row of single crochets looks like. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. Okie dokie, so now we're going to turn our work and do exactly the same thing going back across the row. So we turn our work, we literally turn it, okay? When we do this, for single crochets, you will create 1 chain, okay? That chain acts as your first stitch of this row. So you won't go into that stitch there to start off. Again, you'll go into the second stitch, okay? When you go into your stitches, if you look from the top, you can see the full stitch. And when you go in, make sure that you're pushing your hook all the way in through both of those. A common mistake that people make when they're starting out is that they'll only go through one of those loops. But that's not correct. Make sure you are pushing through both of those loops, grabbing your yarn, pulling it through your work, grabbing the yarn again, and pulling it through both of the loops on your hook. So we are going all the way through the stitch, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through the work, grabbing the yarn again and pulling it through both loops. And we'll continue to work until we come to the end of the row. Okay, so there you can see that's your first row there and your second row there. Okay, that is 2 rows of single crochets. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the work, and this time we are going to work a half double crochet. So we're going to turn the work, and instead of doing 1 chain, we're going to do 2, because a half double crochet is just that little bit taller than a single crochet. So we're going to need 2 chains, not just the 1. So 1, 2. And again, we're not going to work into that first stitch. We're going to start in the second stitch here. Now for a half double crochet, before we put our hook into the work, we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook. We're then going to put it into your stitch and grab the yarn, pull it through. So you've then got 3 loops on your hook. From there, you're going to grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so we wrap the yarn before we put it through the work, put it through the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through with 3 loops on your hook, grab your yarn again and pull through all 3 loops. So as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see just yet, but those stitches are just that little bit taller than the previous 2 rows. So let's keep going across the rest of the row. We're going to wrap the yarn, put it into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So wrap the yarn, wrap the hook even, put it through the work, grab the yarn and pull through with 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops. One last time, we're going to wrap the hook, put it through the stitch, grab your yarn, pull through your work with 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So we're going to continue to do that for the rest of this row. So there we are at the end of our row. And hopefully now you can see that those stitches in the row that we've just done are just that little bit larger than the previous 2 rows. So we're now going to turn our work and do half double crochets again across the back. So we literally turn our work. We're going to chain 2, and remember that counts as your first stitch, so you're not going to work into there, we're going to work into the second stitch, and we're going to wrap the hook, put it through your work, grab your yarn, pull it through your work, grab your yarn again, and pull through all 3 loops. So we wrap the hook, put it through our work, grab the yarn, pull through the work, grab the yarn again, and pull through all 3 loops. Wrap the hook, through your work, grab your yarn, pull through, grab your yarn again, and pull through all 3 loops. Sorry, I've got a bit of a yarn tangle here. Okay, so wrap the hook, put it through, grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn again, and pull through all 3 loops. Wrap your hook, put it through, grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn, and pull through all 3 loops. And now let's just finish the rest of this row. And that's your last stitch. So we're going to turn it again. And there you can see we've got 2 rows of single crochet and 2 rows of half double crochet. So the next stitch we're going to do is a double crochet. So again, this stitch is just a little bit taller than the last one we did. So we're going to chain 3 this time. So 1, 2, 3. And again, we're not going to work into the first stitch, but we're going to work into the second stitch. So the double crochet starts off just like the half double crochet. So you wrap your hook, put it through your work, and grab the yarn and pull it through. So here is where it's a little bit different. So you'll grab the working yarn and pull it through 2 of the loops on your hook, and then grab the yarn again and pull it through the remaining loop. Okay, let's do that again. We wrap the hook, put it through your work, grab the yarn and pull through. Then we grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn again through 2 loops. We wrap the hook into the work and grab the yarn. We grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops. And again, wrap the hook through the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through 2 loops, grab the yarn again and pull it through 2 loops. So there you can see that again, this stitch is that little bit taller than the stitch before. So we'll continue working the rest of the row. So we wrap the hook through the work, grab the yarn, pull it through. I feel I sound very monotonous, sorry. Grab the yarn, pull it through 2 loops, grab the yarn again and pull it through 2 loops. So let's work the rest of the row. So I missed the last stitch of the row. The last stitch of the row, you'll need to work into the top chain of the chain that you did previously. So you'll be working into that stitch there, which might be a little bit tight, but you can push your hook through. And there you go. 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we will work double crochets back across our work. Okay, so we'll turn the work. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then again, we missed that first stitch because the chain 3 counts as our first stitch. We go into the second one. So we wrap the yarn, put it through the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn through 2 loops. Wrap the hook, put it through your work, grab the yarn, pull back through, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull through 2 loops. Wrap your hook through your work, grab the yarn and pull it through, grab your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull it through 2 loops. wrap your hook, put it through your work, grab the yarn and pull it back through, grab your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, grab your yarn, pull it through 2 loops. So we're going to continue to work across the rest of these stitches. I've got tangles again. And don't forget, in your last stitch, you're going to need to go into the top chain. Okay, so there we have 2 rows of singles, 2 rows of half doubles, 2 rows of doubles. And now we're going to do a treble. So again, we turn the work and, oh, sorry, tangled myself up. And because, again, the treble is a little bit taller than the double, instead of doing 3 chains, we're now going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that counts as your first treble. So we're going to miss that stitch there and work into our second stitch. Now for a treble, you wrap the yarn around your hook twice. You go into the work, grab your yarn and pull it back through. Then you grab your yarn and it goes through 2 loops. You grab your yarn again through 2 loops and you grab your yarn again through the final 2 loops. So you can see that that is a far taller stitch. Okay, so again, we wrap the yarn, the hook twice. We go through our work and grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull through 2 loops. Again, wrap the hook twice into your work, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull through 2 loops. Wrap the hook twice into your stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn through 2 loops. I don't know how I haven't stumbled across my words. I feel like I'm getting tongue-tied every time I say that. Okay, last time. Wrap the hook twice into the stitch and grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn through 2 loops, grab the yarn through 2 loops. All right, so now we're going to finish the rest of this row. Oh, we need to pull more out. I just thought that I should have put some music on in the background or something so it didn't just sit in silence. Next time, huh? And for the last stitch, we're going to work into the top chain. And we're going to turn our work. And again, we're going to chain 4. And that chain 4 acts as our first stitch of the row, so we don't go into that stitch, we start in the second stitch. We wrap our hook twice into our work, grab the yarn and pull it through. Grab the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull it through the next 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull it through the final 2 loops. Wrap the hook, wrap the hook twice into your work, pull it through, grab the yarn through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn through the next 2 loops, and grab the yarn and through the final 2 loops. One last time, we wrap the hook twice into the stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through the work, grab the yarn through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn through the second 2 loops, grab the yarn through the last 2 loops. Now I'm going to work across the last of these stitches in silence. So as I work the final stitches in this row, I would tell you, once you've mastered or even practiced, you don't even have to master them, just practice them so that you feel comfortable working these stitches. There are so many different stitch patterns that all use these stitches in different combinations. So once you feel comfortable working with these stitches, you know, the world of crochet is then open to you, because I don't think there's anything that you won't be able to create. There are some excellent free patterns available on YouTube and on Ravelry that you'll be able to practice your newfound skills with. And yeah, please tag me in anything you create, in your practice pieces. Message me if you have any questions, if there's anything that needs a little bit more explanation. I am happy to help wherever I can. So this is the final piece, I guess. So we've got the first 2 rows are single crochet, your next 2 rows are half double crochets, next 2 are double crochets, and final 2 are treble crochets. One last thing I wanted to show you is a slip stitch. It's pretty self-explanatory. So the slip stitch is used, so for example, if I want to move the working yarn from the end of the row, say, to the middle of the row, but I don't want to create any stitches there, I will essentially go into a stitch, grab the yarn, and pull it through. That's all it is. Go into the stitch, grab the yarn, and pull it through. Into the stitch, grab the yarn, and pull it through. So what that does is it moves the working yarn over. And that's it. Pretty self-explanatory, I guess. It slips the stitch across the work. I'm moving my hands and you can't see it. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Please have a go at this and let me know how you get on. I have a new series starting on my YouTube channel soon. I'm just in the process of editing the videos for the first video for it. It's called the Crochet Bible series, which I will be demonstrating a number of different, I think I've got 500 so far, 500 different stitch combinations, stitch patterns, which create different designs and different textures in the crochet fabric that you create. So once you've got these stitches down, I would love for you to start working and trial and error on my Crochet Bible series. Let me know how you get on. Good luck!